Track 11.
Thank You, Mr. Fokker by Patricia Palaco, Part 2. Tricia was really happy only during Mr. Fokker's classes. After classes, Eric made fun of her and often called her stupid or ugly, and Tricia began to believe him. During break times, Tricia often hid under the stairs. In that dark place, she felt safer. Once Eric followed her to her secret place. "Are you a mole?" he laughed. "Stupid! You are stupid!" he shouted. Tricia was frightened. Suddenly, she heard footsteps. It was Mr. Fokker. He took Eric to the office. 10 minutes later, he came back and said, "Don't worry about that boy anymore." One day, Mr. Fokker asked her to stay after school. "Let's play a game. I'll shout out letters and you'll write them on the board." "A," he shouted. She wrote A. "8," he shouted. She wrote 8. He shouted out many letters and numbers. Then he walked up behind her and together they looked at the board. It was a mess. She wanted to run away. "You poor baby," he said. "Do you think you're stupid?" "But little one, don't you understand you don't see letters or numbers the way other people do?" He smiled at her. Then he stood up and cleaned the board. "We are going to change all that, girl. You are going to read, I promise you that." Every day after school, she met with Mr. Fokker and Miss Plessy, a reading teacher. They did a lot of things she didn't even understand. At first she made circles in sand, then she wrote big circles on the blackboard. They wrote letters on the board and Tricia shouted them out loud. Other days, she worked with wooden blocks and built words. Letters, 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 words, words, words. Now she could read words, but not sentences. 3 months later, Mr. Walker put a book in front of her. He asked Tricia to read a paragraph. Slowly she read a sentence, then another, and another, and finally she read a paragraph. Mr. Fokker and Miss Plessy had tears in their eyes. She started loving school. I know, because that little girl was me, Patricia Palaco. I saw Mr. Fokker again some 30 years later at a party. I walked up to him and introduced myself. He hugged me and asked about my job. I answered, "I make books for children. Thank you, Mr. Fokker. Thank you."
Track 12.
1. Give up. 2. Work on something. 3. Look forward to doing something. 4. Make it. 5. Put something off. 6. Find out something. 7. Believe in somebody. 8. Take up something.
Track 13. 1. I cannot work with my hands, but I want to start drawing with my toes. I don't draw very well now, but I'll never stop trying. 2.
I want to enter my invention into a European competition for new green technology. The competition is on January 1st. I'm very excited. I want that day to come soon.
3.
My dancing technique is good, but I still need to improve my moves.
4.
People always praise me for my singing ability, but I'm not sure I sing well.
Track 14.
Alex was talking on the telephone while Celine was helping Mrs. Shelley to gather leaves. At that time, Kamal was sleeping under the tree. Layla and Cody were drawing something when they saw a snake near Kamal. Then they saw a canary behind the tree. She was laughing and showing them to Peter. Peter had a small device in his hand. While he was playing with that device, the snake was moving closer and closer to Kamal. While all these were happening, Freddie was calmly playing his guitar. When he saw that Layla and Cody were very afraid, he stood and picked the snake and took it to the teacher. It was a toy snake, and Peter was controlling its movement. After the teacher talked to Peter and Akinari, they understood their mistake and said sorry to everyone.
Track 15.
What are you doing, Kamil?
I am preparing a presentation about Faiq Ahmad.
Oh, really? I like his works very much. He's very talented.
Do you know about him?
Yes, I even met him yesterday in the Carpet Museum. I was looking at the carpets when I suddenly saw him. He was giving an interview to the journalists. He was talking about his works in the foreign museums.
Does he have carpets in foreign museums?
Yes, he does. I learned about that yesterday while he was answering the questions. I was listening to him. He talked about his exhibitions in Norway, France, and some other countries. I don't remember all the countries.
I'll add this information to my presentation. Thank you, Alina, very much.
You are welcome, Kamil. Yesterday, I took his photo in the museum. Do you want to add that photo to your presentation as well?
That'd be great, Alina.
Track 16.
Better Than You by Trudy Ludwig, Part 1. My neighbor Jake always says that he is better than me at everything. Don't get me wrong, Jake is great at everything he does, especially sports. Me, not so much. I know I am good at writing stories and playing the guitar, but when it comes to basketball, I should practice it a lot. Jake first annoyed me when I was trying to learn how to do a layup. I had a dream. I wanted to play basketball like an NBA star, so I trained a lot. When I could finally do a layup, I got very excited. I ran to Jake's house to show him. "Hey Tyler, what's up?" asked Jake. "Look, I can do a layup." After I showed him the move, he took the basketball and said, "Yeah, well, I'm sure you can't do this." Then Jake did a perfect throw. He couldn't just say, "Great job, Tyler." Who am I kidding? I thought. I'll never be great at basketball. Why should I try it? Last Tuesday morning, I was showing Charisse my new music player when Jake entered the room. "What's that?" he asked. "Tyler's music player," answered Charisse. Then he started talking about all the great things his music player could do that mine couldn't. Today we had a math test. Math is the hardest subject for me. My hands get all sweaty when I try to solve math problems. Do you know what was worse than taking that test? Just imagine, the teacher asked Jake to check my test paper. "Tyler, I don't believe you got some of these problems wrong," he said. "This test was so easy. I think I'm 5 times smarter than you in math." I don't understand why teachers ask kids to check each other's tests. It isn't right. Stupid test. Stupid me. When I came back home from school, I threw down my backpack and went to my bedroom. "Hey, Tyler," called Iggy from downstairs. "Uncle Kevin is here."
Track 17.
1. Travel agency. 2. Organize a tour. 3. Tour guide. 4. Go on a cruise. 5. Destination. 6. Luggage. 7. Single ticket. 8. Return ticket.
Track 18.
Can I help you?
Yes, you can actually. This is the brochure of the holiday you sold us.
Oh yes, I remember you, Mrs. Harmer. I believe you had a great time.
No, I didn't. I'm very angry about it. I want to complain about your service.
What was the problem?
First, I got a single ticket instead of a return ticket. I paid $300 at the airport and changed the ticket. When I got to Sunny Island, I was shocked. The hotel wasn't as nice as it's in the brochure. The hotel room was very small and had no sea view. And the hotel food was terrible. I stayed there for 10 days from the 7th to the 17th of July.
I am really sorry about it.
We didn't have any tour guides. Now I want my money back.
Okay, I'll speak to the company director. Can I have your phone number? I'll contact you soon.
Okay, it's 058 345 67721.
So, 058 345 67721. I'll see what I can do.
Track 19. 1.
Ben was the winner of the Olympic Games last year, wasn't he?
2.
You cannot travel there by ship, can you?
3.
The new book isn't interesting enough, is it?
4.
Mr. Barry and his class will go hiking next month, won't they?
5.
This mask looks terrifying, doesn't it?
6.
The film is too boring to watch, isn't it?
Track 20.
2 years ago, I decided to have my travel blog. That time, I was studying in 10th grade and planning to become an English teacher. One day, I saw a travel blog on the internet and decided to take up blogging. When I was a child, I often traveled with my family. We didn't have enough money to travel abroad, so we visited different regions of Azerbaijan. My father loved taking photos of the places we visited. My blog is in English, and a lot of people from all over the world follow my blog. I often share photos of unusual places in Azerbaijan. Last month, I got more than 15,000 likes for a picture I took in Lerik. I also like sharing information about interesting traditions in different regions of Azerbaijan. My followers enjoy reading this information, and they often leave comments comparing their culture with Azerbaijani culture. I have some plans for the future. I am planning to open my own travel agency. I even have a name for it: Incredible Tours. I want to organize interesting tours to different parts of Azerbaijan. I have enough information about every corner of my country. Sometimes, my parents say that I should write a travel book about our country. But I don't think I'll do it, because writing books is not for me.